Race in America, scene one, take one, Mark.
Hi, my name is Bill Posley. I work in production as a crew member for film and television. I'm originally from Massachusetts, but I feel like Los Angeles is my home now. So my story takes place in the South, in a small little state known as Louisiana, where a lot of production had really picked up post-Katrina because they had a lot of tax credits. So I went down to shoot low-budget, like kind of horror or like mockbuster films. And so in the middle of production, we were shooting one of these movies and we get this Amber Alert and the huge warning and they're like, hey, we are going to have another hurricane. It turns out that it was Hurricane Gustav. And so we were like, no, we'll hang in there, we're gonna keep shooting, and literally the roof of the place that we were shooting at gets ripped off by this like insane gust of wind. Trees are falling, wind is blowing like I had never seen it before, and so we're like, oh no, we need to get the hell out of here. We pile everything up and we make a plan, we're gonna go to Arlington, Texas. We get out, finally we get up to Arlington, we all check in, we're loading this gear in, and we rent one room in the hotel that is specifically for the gear and the equipment. Me and a buddy of mine, we're sharing a hotel room together. He's great, everything's wonderful. So I have my hotel room, and then we all have access to the editing room, right? And so I get in there and I'm like, all right, you know what? It's my turn to hit the editing bay. I'm gonna go up there and do this. My key doesn't work. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird. So I go down to the front desk and I'm like, hey man, the key to the editing bay with the film production and the key to the editing bay just isn't, for some reason, is not working or whatever. And he's like, oh, okay, cool, hands me the thing, and I go, all right, great. So I go up, get in there, I work for the next like 3 or 4 hours. Now it's like, it is 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I go back to my room, and unbeknownst to me, my friend is hooking up with somebody, right? So I walk in on him like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And they're like, hey, yeah, sorry. I then go back up to the editing, and the key doesn't work again. And I'm like, oh no. So I go back down to the desk, and now it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, and nobody's at the desk, right? And so I start dinging the little bell. And this guy comes out and goes, I see you. There's a camera, I can see you when you show up. And I'm like, okay. Look, weird, but like, that key isn't working anymore. I need to get back in the editing bay. And he, without any prompt or anything like that, and he goes, you trying to steal stuff? And I was like, what? You just, literally you saw me like 4 or 5 hours ago. Why would you? He goes, yeah, why would you need another key? Are you trying to break into people's rooms and steal stuff? I was like, no, I came here from Louisiana. I was with the production company who came here. You saw me check in. You've already given me a key to this room. You hopped up on drugs. Why are you up at 4 or 5 in the morning? And I was like, look, dude, you're out of line, and I'm gonna report you tomorrow. And he goes, how are you gonna do that when you're kicked out of the hotel? He calls security. Security comes in, gets me, and I'm like, look, my stuff's in here. He goes, you're gonna have to call somebody to bring it out, or we're gonna call the cops and make sure that you spend the night in jail. And I was like, dude, oh man, like I'd never been like so worked up before like that, you know? And so I'm trying to take deep breaths, and I'm like on the verge of just like pure and utter like rage, like pure rage. I'm in the parking lot of this place on the verge of tears, like punching like the cars that we had, right? I was so like, just so frustrated and so beefed up. And my friend, as we're driving over to the hotel, he goes, hey, listen, man, like, something I should tell you. And I was like, what? He goes, I was talking to that security guard earlier today, and we were out smoking a cigarette, and he looked at me and he goes, I hate hurricanes because niggers from Louisiana come here and start stealing all of our shit, and they start fucking up our area, and I hate it when they come here because they always cause a problem, they always start shit. And when he told me that, dude, I literally lost my mind. And when we went to confront that guy and brought it up to that dude's manager, the dude was like, oh, you know, he didn't see you check in with everybody else. I'm like, he gave me a key though. He's like, oh no, he said he didn't give you a key. He said that you kept asking for a key to different rooms and was trying to break in and didn't feel comfortable. And so what he was trying to do was protect your stuff. I looked at my boss and I was like, I'm leaving, call me when you guys come back to Louisiana. And I literally drove back into Hurricane Gustav and would have rather spent the entire night in the middle of a Category 5 hurricane than one more night in this hotel in Arlington, Texas. I felt powerless, right? You just feel like you can't physically do anything. God, you think that if you're just honest, everything's gonna work itself out, and that's not always the case. At the time, you just don't understand that like this person's limited, this person's experience is about like this big, right? The fear that they have of the unknown of a person is really what is triggering this defensiveness and this like lashing out at you. And so, I mean, that's such a, by the way, it's such a big concept to have like philosophized, and to be actually in the moment while it's happening is a whole nother story, right? Because it's like, like, yeah, all the time that you're just sitting there like, man, like as I'm getting like pulled over, as I'm being arrested, you have all this fear and anxiety and then like adrenaline and all that stuff's kicking, that it's really hard to just be like, hey man, I wonder if they're just doing this out of fear. You don't think like that, but like that, I think the more that I can conceptualize that fear and insecurity and experience and ignorance is at the root of racism, the less I feel vengeful when it happens, I think.
Thanks for watching Race in America. Go ahead and like this video, leave a comment, tap here to subscribe, and tap here to keep watching.